Before we start today's video, I have a big request for all of you that have a Twitter account. I need you to vote in 5 Twitter polls right now. I know, this is very unusual. I don't usually talk about Twitter stuff, but there's 5 Twitter polls going around for, conservative election Twitter. And quite frankly, I want you guys to vote in these polls. And again, I would, be kind of sad if you didn't vote for the candidates I would push for. But if you want to vote for any of these guys, that's perfectly fine. However, I recommend if you vote in the Twitter thread, again, it'll be in the link description down below, vote for these candidates. In the conservative primary, vote for Trump 2024. For Christian conservative primary, vote for Real Political Data. I wonder who that is. And in the paleo-conservative primary, vote for Lone Star Politics. Again, this will be all in the link description, or I should say, link in the description down below. The nationalist primary, vote for my man, American Hill. And in the populist primary, I recommend you vote for Connecticut Populist. So again, you don't have to vote, but if you do have a Twitter account and you're bored, just vote for these 5 candidates. And again, I'm not going to be mad that if you don't, just kind of disappointed. But yeah, vote for these 5, and yeah, that'll be greatly appreciated. But yeah, let's actually start with today's video.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today we are back to Arizona. I cannot believe I had to make this video this, soon after I just made a video on Arizona, like, what, a week ago? Guys, I'm getting so tired of some of these people on Twitter, on some of these people, just on the election community. They're just so stupid, and I'm getting sick and tired of it so much. We're back here again to debunk some polls, because boy oh boy, some people are, let's just say, they're getting kind of stupid when it comes to polls. And again, I'm not saying the polls are going to be like off by 30 points. What I am saying, however, is not only do I think they are, screwing up the methodology of these polls, I'm starting to wonder if they're starting to fake some of these numbers. That may sound crazy, but we'll just look at it in a second. Now, before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash like down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Now, before I forget, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. Also remember, go, vote in that Twitter thread poll thing that I posted in the description down below. Vote for the candidates that I guess you could say endorsed. And, yeah. So, alright, let's get right into it. No more promotions. Let's get serious here. So, Arizona's governorship. Now, I thought I was done here because it was like, okay, Lake is going to be the nominee. But people have gotten so stupid in the election, community that I have to make this video. And I cannot believe some of these people that really think Robson will win or Lake will win by less than 10 points. It's like, what crack are some of these people on? Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's look at the polls. Now, you look at these polls and, okay, most of these polls, have Lake up by, 20 to, let's just say 15, all right? Let's just say 13 to 20 points, these polls have Lake up. Then this dumpster fire of a poll came out. Ohio Predictive Insights. The anti-Lake people went berserk. They're saying, look at this. Lake's only up by 7 points after Data Orbital had Lake up by 13. It's over. Well, guess what, folks? This may be one of the worst pollsters in the country. And boy, oh boy, do they prove it. So before we get into what I'm talking about, let's just look at these numbers. In January of this year, Lake had 21% of the vote according to Predictive Insights. Lake now at 29%. Now the surge has been coming from Robson, who I honestly don't know enough about. And the people, these loser right people that don't want Lake to win because she's too conservative, they failed to realize the type of candidate Robson is. And if you know what I'm talking about, just look who endorsed Robson. Again, not gonna say anything about them, but those aren't necessarily what you call those centrist types. Well, maybe this clown, but the other two, yeah, I would not say that they're centrist or anything like that. But the point is this: sure, Robson has gone up, but so has Lake, and people have just ignored that completely, and they're all citing this one poll, Ohio Predictive Insights. And I have one thing to say about this poll. They are historically awful in general elections, but somehow they are worse in primary polls. Now, if you want to know how bad we're talking about for general elections, look at this. Look at this. This was, I think this was September 13th of 2020. They had Trump down by 10 in Arizona. 10! Not, 3 or 4. 10! So you're telling me Trump suddenly surged and got nearly every single undecided voter and then some to vote for him? It's like, no, these guys just suck at their jobs. I mean, look at this. They had Biden winning the rural vote. They had Trump losing Maricopa by 12. Huh? What universe do you have to be in to believe that nonsense? I mean, these are the people we're talking about. And you look inside this poll here, or I should say right here. This is the poll that they done in Arizona. And look at this. This is when I knew something was going up here, because this mathematically or just logically makes any sense. So Kari Lake in Maricopa County was winning by 11 points. I thought, okay, that would mean she's crushing it in Pima, but definitely crushing it in rural Arizona. Nope, she's only winning Pima by 1 and losing the rural Arizona by 2. Can you think about that for a second? If she's winning Maricopa, the part of Arizona that should be the least Trumpian part, how the hell is she losing rural Arizona? Let's just look at this region. Look at region. Look at this. Trump won this region by 16 points. This is the most Trumpian part of the state. And she's losing it after Trump's endorsement. This is not like before Trump's endorsement. This was like 2 weeks ago. But that's not all. That was just like, okay, maybe they had a sampling error. Maybe something else happened. But then I looked more at this poll. I was like, wait a minute. Look at the age gap. Trump was supposedly losing the 18 to 54 vote by 11 points, which, okay, that's reasonable. Sure, it may have been by maybe closer to 10, but still that's within the sampling error. There's no big issues there. All right, right here. They got it right here. However, look at the 55 plus vote. They had Trump losing that vote by 9. And look at this, 45 and older. Trump won this group by 6. So let's say, even if, 55 plus voted for Biden or voted for Trump by only 2 or 3, that is off by upwards of 12 points. You noticing the problems here? And we'll look at the Arizona poll in a second. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But yeah, so let's look at Arizona's recent poll. And this is where I knew things were just bullshit. So Kari Lake, 18 to 54, has 33% of the vote. 55 to 64, 39% of the vote. 65 to 74, 35%. So I thought, okay, let's just say, she only got 30 or 30% of the vote. That's reasonable. Nope. According to this poll, she's only getting 9% of the 75 plus vote. Only 9%. You're starting to understand why I have an issue with this poll. And the same thing happened with Masters. 14% with 65-74, but only 2% with 75 plus? It's like, what universe are you in to seriously believe that garbage? But again, you come back here, nearly the same thing. They screwed up the older vote. The younger vote, they probably got spot on. The older vote, though, they were off by a mile. And I'm starting to realize what I think they did. And this may sound crazy. This is exactly what happened. Look at the voting model. It's blended phone. And if you don't know, this means they called nothing but suburbanites. All right, and quote-unquote rural voters. Which, by the way, that doesn't mean they're rural. That means they're just, sure, they're not in Maricopa County. That doesn't mean they're rural. But the point is this. They got all these older voters that are, the true conservative types that haven't voted, in a Republican primary in 3 cycles. And magically now they're going to vote in the Republican primary. And they all love Robson, but they hate the GQP candidate in Lake. That's what I think they did. And this is why I have an issue with all these Arizona polls. They're effing up the age group, except Data Orbital, which surprisingly, you look at some of their crosstabs, which, again, some of the sampling errors is bad, or I should say, I forgot which poll it was. The point is, one of these pollsters had a good sampling size, but at the same time, their crosstabs made sense. The older vote, maybe shifted maybe 2 points towards Robson. Not almost, losing it by 21. So, as you can tell, I'm frustrated with this. And I'm telling people right off the bat, Lake's gonna win. Lake's gonna win by at least 15 points at minimum. And this sampling error is starting to get ridiculous. It happened in the general election. It's gonna happen here. So again, if you live in Arizona, vote for Lake. She's gonna win by a lot. I think personally, these polls, they're gonna get embarrassed again. I mean, it's not feasibly possible for you to have 65% of the 65-74 vote, but only get 9% of the 75 plus vote. What's the difference? Sure, maybe one of them, they're more liberal or something like that. Even so, maybe like 5 points. Not, what is it, like 26? So, I hope you guys enjoyed kind of today's video. If you did, smash the like now below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.